Good evening, everyone. Welcome to today's session. Today's session is about how to plot graphs in Matlab. So, very often, as you will grow more in physics field, you have to plot the graphs on Matlab. That is very much necessary that you have to plot your graphs either on any online softwares like Matlab. Matlab is called mathematics lab, right? So you can plot any mathematical functions and do a lot of things which are required for research purposes in MATLAB. Not just research purposes, but for any physics student, it is very important that you know basics of MATLAB at least. So now number one thing is there is a game going on, IIT Jam revision game going on. So in that game, you have to plot seven graphs of IIT Jam physics syllabus. So in order to do that, you need basics of MATLAB. So first of all, how do we get the MATLAB? First of all, you need a good laptop, any standard laptop you need. If your laptop is not very much have a very good processor, keep everything off except Google Chrome, right? So now go to Google Chrome, any new tab, you will just see something like that and type MATLAB online. You don't have to install MATLAB. If you want to install MATLAB, you can, but there is something called MATLAB online which you can use. Either you can get a pirated copy of MATLAB also. Okay. In your institute, there will be some copies of MATLAB that you can get from the laboratory, or you can ask for them for the access. Many good universities have access of MATLAB. Third option is you use the MATLAB online. I will recommend you to use MATLAB online. Why? Because while you are doing the coding in MATLAB online, you also get suggestions. So that is very important for a beginner. So you can use this MATLAB online for free for 1 month. So you can use that. You can keep on changing your Google account every time you want to use it. So there is not a very big problem. So when you go to page like that, you just have to click start using MATLAB online. Okay. For me, it is directly taking me to this page, right? To this page. But for you, it will ask you to sign up. So you can do the sign up very easy. You just put a Google email ID, Gmail email address, log in. It will send you OTP and just log in through that. Very simple process. Once you do all that, okay, you will be here. Something like this page will appear up. A very new page will appear up. So let's do one thing. I will start the page from a very new. Anyone have something to say? Okay. So if you go, something like this will show up. A very new page will come up in the MATLAB. So before we begin, I want to close everything so that you get a feeling that how it will look like. So it will look like something like this. Nothing will be here. So this window which you are showing, so this window which you are seeing in the in between is actually the command window, right?
Limiting
Someone want,
record. Yeah.
yes, this is being recorded.
Okay.
Okay. So you will see something like this. This will appear up. This is called MATLAB command window. The between the white area which you are seeing is called MATLAB command window, right? So if I type one, it gives me one. Answer is one. Okay. So it is seeing one and giving me back one, right? If I type two, it gives me back two. Now let's try something new. I want to know what is, I want to see x going from 1 to 2 at the spacing of 0.01. So I want to go from 1 to 2 in the spacing of 0.01, right? So I will write x equals to 1 double dot 0.01 again double dot 2. So now if I click enter, it will give me all the values. So you can see it is going from 1 and increasing 0.01 and going till 2. So this is how you can write things here. But usually we would never write things here. We never write anything in command window. So whenever we start writing any code, we start by giving new script. So now when you give a new script, it allows you to write an entire code and then play that code. So at if you write in command window, at every step it will show you the result. But in this script you can write the entire code at once, and in the end you can say okay, now run. So always use this new script. So the first thing that you should do is open the new script and save this script. So control S, if you do, it will ask you to save this. So you can save this by any name. Let's save it by lecture.m. So always save by the .m in the end. It means it's a MATLAB extension. So always put .m in the end and just save it. So your file name is lecture.m. So before we jump into how we write the code in MATLAB, let's see what we want to do. What code we want to write. Okay, so here is a document which we want to write. So this is how you have to make your assignments for the game. Graph me. So on the top you will write graph me, then your team name will come up. So whatever is your team name, and then the name of your members, and then you will start with the person one graphs. So this person wants to plot a graph of wave functions of a particle in an infinite potential well. So you know infinite potential well, and this person wants to plot this equation in the MATLAB. So how this person will do that? So first of all, he has to write the equation just like this I have written. I will explain the equation. I will write what my purpose is to plot this graph. And then now I have this equation to plot. Okay. So now how do I plot this equation? So first thing you know is it's a one variable equation. So you have only variable is x. So you can change x and correspondingly you will get wave function. Right. This much is clear to you. So now how do we define x? How do we define x? That's an important part. So there are few ways to define x. So let's start our section. If you write 2% sign, it will make a new section. New section. So always make a new section and name that section. So defining x. Okay. So MATLAB will not read this defining x. It is just for you to look at. Whenever you put double percentage, it makes a new section, and whatever you write in front of that, MATLAB does not run that. It is only for you to read. Okay. So we have two ways to define x. So we want to define our x, let's say from 0 to a, right? We want to define our x is from 0 to a. In infinite potential, well, you all know x goes from 0 to a. So 0, we want to go in the steps of 0.01, or let's say 0.1 only, and we want to go till a. Okay. Now in the end we put this sign, semicolon. Why we put this semicolon? If I don't put this semicolon, what MATLAB will do is it will start giving me values from 0 to a at the steps of 0.1, which we don't want. We only want MATLAB to have this x. I don't want MATLAB to show me this x. Just like here, we saw that it started showing me the values. I don't want anything like this to see. I just want MATLAB to know that x is this. So whenever you put semicolon in the end, MATLAB reads it but does not shows you. Okay. But now MATLAB does not know what is A. You have to define what A is. Okay. You know A, what is A, but MATLAB does not know. So let's define A is 1. Okay. Again, I will put semicolon in the end because I just want MATLAB to know that A is 1. I don't want MATLAB to show me what is A. Okay. I can give you a live example here. If I write in window command A equals to 1 and press enter, it starts showing me A is equals to 1. Okay. Can everyone see that? You can see in the command window A is equals to 1. MATLAB is giving me that answer. Right? Everyone can see, right?
Yes, sir.
But now let's say I write A equals to 1 and now semicolon. and now I run by entering. Do you see MATLAB doing anything? You see, again, it is giving two arrows to give me, asking me to write more code. It is not showing me a equals to 1 answer, just like before. Okay. So whenever we put this semicolon, it does not show me. It only registers itself. So now I know what a is and I know what x is. Now there is one more way to define x. That is x equals to lin space. This is a very important function. Lin space. I want to go from 0 to 1 in 100 steps. Okay, how many of you understand? So 0 to 1, 0 to 1 in 100 steps. So my x will run from 0 to 1 in the 100 steps. I can make these steps as any many number as I want. I can say 1000. Okay, or I can say in 5000 steps. Okay, so in 5000 steps it will divide 0 to 1 in 5000 steps, and it will go from 0 to 1 in 5000 steps, right? So I want to go from 0 to a, because I have already defined. So let's say 0 to a in 5000 steps. Very good. Now we can't use both of these. We have to use any one of them. So let's say I don't want to use this x1. So first one. So what do? I can do control R. So when I do control R, it converts code into comment. Code into comment. So what is comment? Comment means MATLAB is just showing you that. You can see that on screen, but MATLAB is not reading this line. Okay. So MATLAB will not read this line. It is just for you to see this. Okay. So you can write star, it is comment line. I can write anything after this percentage sign. MATLAB will not read that. Okay. So this is comment line. Okay. So now let's move on to next thing. We have now defined our x. What is the next step? Can anyone tell me what you will do as a next step? What do you want? Tell me, you have your x, you have defined what is your x. Now what do you want? Look at this equation. You want to define your phi, isn't it? You want to tell your MATLAB that what is phi.
Yes, sir.
Well, let's do that. Let's do that. So we will make another section. So how do you make another section? By double percentage sign, and we give this section a name, defining wave function. Okay. So always made codes very elaborative. Okay, always name the section so that whenever you are reading your own code or someone else is reading your code, he or she can understand what you are doing, right? So let's define y. Okay, so y is our wave function, or we can give any name. Let's say, let's give the name phi, phy, phi. So this is our wave function, we all know. This is square root of 2 by a. So how do we write square root in MATLAB? We write sqrt, okay, double bracket. Within the bracket, we will write 2 by a. 2 by a. So you all got it? How we write the first part of our equation? Very simple as that, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, second part is let's multiply sine. So whenever you are multiplying two things, whenever there are two things in together, you can't just write like this sign. You have to give a multiplication sign, and multiplication sign is the this star symbol. Okay, sign. Now what we want to write? Pi x by a. So let's write pi star x divided by a. So this is a divide sign and a. So for now, we haven't considered n. So for now, forget about n. We will include n later on. Currently, we are only looking at the ground state wave function. Okay, to begin with, then we will include the n also. So pi x by a. So this function is there. So you have defined the wave function also. So now how do we plot it? So now the third is plot. Okay, so we plot it. So the third section is plot. So plot has a very simple uh, command. So you just give plot. What is the thing you want to plot? You want to plot x versus y. X versus y. X comma y you want to plot. So before running the code, you always do control S. So everything which you have done should be saved. And now you go and can you see the run option here? So now click on the run. And let's see what your uh, okay, there is small problem. Vector length is not matching. Just give me a second. Okay, let's run this. Okay, we haven't given any y. Sorry, we should write x versus 5, right? Our function is 5. Okay, so x versus 5. So now let's run. So you see, you have got the graph. Everyone can see the graph.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So
Yes,
is
sir.
it a? How many of you say it is a good graph? What are the things that are missing in this graph?
Other bound states same.
Okay, so there is no labeling in this graph, right? What without labeling there is nothing, like, right? So how do we label this graph? So we write x label double bracket. Inside this bracket we give the commas, and inside the commas we want to write position inside well, right? Similarly, I label y label comma wave function. Okay, and I
Okay.
also want to give the title of the graph. So I write title double bracket. Inside that I write wave function in infinite potential well. Okay, so before running, what I do control S so that everything is saved. Again, I go to run and I run this code, and you will see everything is here. Whatever you wanted is here. Can you all see? Wave function title is there, wave function y label is there, x label is here.
Bhaiya, is it Y level or we should write phi level?
No, it's y label. No, x label and y label are according to the x axis of the graph and y axis of the graph. Okay,
Oh, okay, sir.
that, yeah, that will always remain same. So now let's do another thing. What else we can do in this? Now there is a line also only, right? I want to change the color of this line, right? I many times I don't like blue, or I want to play with this. So how do you play with this? So you again go to plot function, plot command. You again write a comma, and you start doing one more thing. So you double commas, and inside this you write g means green, and plus. Now let's see what happens. Now you see how the graph changes. You see, now I can reduce this in order to show you that actually it is plus. Okay, now you will be able to see plus. Can you all see the plus? And
Yes,
it is
sir.
in green color. Why it was not able to, we were not able to see it before? Because the spacing was very less between the 2 points, right? So they were merged together, so we were not able to see the plus sign. Now we can do anything. Instead of plus, we write this symbol. Okay, now you again run. Now let's see how your graph comes. You see it's now dotted graph. Okay, everyone is able to see dotted graph.
Yes, sir.
You all can see, right? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes.
All of you can see the graph, right? Or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
okay. Great. So now the final thing which I'm keeping is blue with the dotted. Okay, so blue with the dotted will look like something like this. So now many of you will be wondering, if B is blue, then what is black? So black is K. You can get all these commands from the internet, that what color symbol is what, that does not matter much. You will get an entire table. I have shared one book PDF with you, Matlab by Rudra Pratap sir. It has all the commands you need. You only need to know how to write those commands. Okay, so let's keep this black color with the dotted lines. Okay, so our plot is done. Now one more thing is left, that is legend. So legend is something which tells us what each dot is giving us. Means what is this line telling us? So we write legend, again double dot, it is n equals to 1. And now we run. What's okay, sorry, it's not. Let me see what is going on. Let's run. Legend. It should run, right? Hmm. Title is here. Okay, so let's say your command does not run or you have any error. What do you can also do the legend, x-axis labeling, title labeling by clicking on this graph. If you click on this graph, you will see legend option. If you click on this legend option, you see something appears here. So now you can double click on this and you can change that. So I'm writing n equals to 1. Now you see our graph is complete. It has all the details which we want. Right, it's this is a sort of graphs which you should always plot whenever you are using online softwares. There is still one thing
And
left.
you know, and आपने
Excuse me,
define
can you repeat
and
what are you saying?
आपने and define नहीं किए है पहले.
Yeah, we haven't defined it now because n is only 1, right? It's just I'm writing it n equals to 1. I'm not giving any command here, I'm just labeling it that it is n equals to 1. I haven't defined it. We will define n also. We will define n also. I'm just telling you how to put legends. Okay, so there is still one thing missing. In many graphs, you must have seen there are lines also, right? At specific point. Let's say I want to mention what is the midpoint of my potential value. So how do you define that? So I say X line. I want to make a line at point 5 in the X direction. So now let's run it. You see there is a line in here. Can you see the line in here? The line came. Okay.
Yes,
Now
sir.
I don't want this line to be black. I want this line to be green. And I want this line to be dotted. So let's again run this. So this is a dotted line in the center. But what does this line saying? It should write, I should write something here, right? What is this line saying? So I will write text where I want to put my text. I want to put my text at x equals to 0. Oh, sorry, x equals to zero point 0.5 and y equals to 0. And what is the text which I want to write? I want to write center of the well. I control S and I run this and let's see how it comes. So, okay, let's write it little above zero point 0.5. We can play with this in order to see that our it is coming out to be good. Okay, we can make it little more towards X, right? So it is looking like it is looking somewhat good. Okay, you can also rotate this text, you can also change the color of this text, everything you can do. There are basic commands which you can see in the book, that does not matter, but I'm just giving you the basic commands which you need. So you can write the text, you can write the lines. If you want to write the y line along the y, you can again write y line, and again similarly you can draw the line along the y also. So the similar equation commands are there. Now the main thing which I should still here is it clear with everyone before I move to next step?
Yes, sir.
So are you all able to understand how to use MATLAB without any prior knowledge? Everyone getting what we have teached so far?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Great. So now let's do overlay plots. What is overlay plots? Overlay plots means I want to plot n equals to 1 to n equals to 5 all in the same plot, right? It's just n equals to 1 plot, right? Only ground state. I want to write all the plots in one graph. So how do I do that? So before I do that, because since I want to move to the next section, let's comment this section. Means I don't want my MATLAB to read this section. I don't want my MATLAB to read this section. So let's comment this section. Okay, so this is commented section. Now MATLAB will not read this, but MATLAB will read your A is 1, your X is 0 to A in 50 steps. And now I am defining my phi. Now I am defining my phi as, let's put n now. You have put n also. So now your wave function is n pi x by a. Okay. Now if I just go and plot x versus phi, let's see what does it tells you. What does it shows you? Okay. X versus phi. Okay. Let's see. Now let's see what does it show you. How he's taking the value of n. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Now see. Okay. So you see there is an error called you have unrecognized function or variable n. Can anyone guess why the graph was coming before? Anyone guess? Before this error, there was graph coming. Why that was happening?
Sir, due to the sine function, maybe?
No. There is no sign. There is. So what happened is I was teaching you till here, right? So all the functions which I defined was stored in MATLAB, right? So when I gave phi, again the new command, it did not read this new phi and read the old phi which was already there. Okay, because I didn't cleared it, right? I didn't clear the already existing functions. So whenever you have to clear already existing functions, how you see what are the already existing functions? Here you can see workspace, right? You can see workspace. There are two functions right now, a which is 1 and x which is a 1 to 50 values. It is going from 1 to 150 in the 50 steps. Sorry, 0 to 1 in the 50 steps. So it is a 50 number vector. It's like a matrix which has 50 numbers, row matrix with the or column matrix with the 50 numbers in it. So these are my already existing. Whenever I do something, it already automatically stores in MATLAB. So if I want to clear this, I just need to write clear and press enter. So you see here my a and x both are gone, right? Both are gone. So now if I do the run, they both will appear again. See, a came and x came. You all can see.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now let's move to next step, which is overlay plot. Now we have to define n, because without defining n, you can't plot. So for defining multiple n's, we want to define multiple n's. So what we actually want to do, we want to do, our MATLAB should plot graph for n equals to 1. Then it should plot the graph for n equals to 2. Then it should plot the graph for n equals to 3, then 4, and then 5. This is what we want to do, right? When we want MATLAB to repeat the same thing for many number of times for different values of something, let's say n, we use loop, use for loop. The for loop is, it means for n equals to 1 to 5 in the steps of 1. So my n is going from 1 to 5 in the steps of 1. Just like I defined x, right? It is going from 0 to a in point 1. I will define my n should go from 1 to 5 in the steps of 1. It means my n is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So for n 1 to 5, my phi is this and my plot is this. But this will not show you anything. This will not show you anything. I can show you. Let's run this. You see, can anyone tell what this plot is telling you? What is this plot? Is it 5 plots or just a 1 plot? Just a 1 plot. For which n this plot is?
For n equals to 5.
This is for n equals to 5. Can you all agreed with that Shaunik's statement that it is for n equals to 5? Okay. So what your for loop did is, it actually repeated 5 times, but it only showed you the value which was in the last. I can prove that. Okay, let's see. N should go from 0 to 4. Now you will see the graph will come for 4. Okay, the last value, which was the last value, only that comes. So how do I actually correct this, that I want all 5 graphs? So what I want is, I want to open an empty figure before. I will open an empty figure and name that figure anything. Let's name it 1. So I will open a figure 1. So before running the code, it will open a empty figure, empty, completely empty, right? Then while I am going through this loop, I want my MATLAB to say hold on. In the end, hold on this step means whatever you have given, keep and hold on it and save this in this figure 1. So now let's see, can we get our graph which we want? So can we get the graph now? You see all the 4 graphs now? You are able to see all the graphs now?
Yes, sir.
So you know, now you understand what 2 extra commands we need to write in order to write the overlay plots. Okay, so again we can do the same things. We can do the labeling. Okay, let's do the labeling. Very simple. Now we remove this so that it actually reads it. Okay, now let's control S and put. So everything is now completely labeled and everything. Now in the same way, you can change the colors and all the patterns that you have already understand how you change it. You can make it dotted, you can draw the lines in the graph. Okay, so if I want to write anything in it, just text, I want to write the text at 0.5 comma 0.5, and what I want to write the text as all done. Okay, Just to give you an idea, all done. So in the graph, it will show all done at the location where I want to see. It is coming at 0.5, 0.5. So do you all understood how to draw the graphs in the MATLAB?
Yes.
So is
Yes.
it a hard task to do it? Coding, coding, coding. Is it hard? Anything is hard here. Just a very basic 7, 8 lines you need to know. And
Hello,
you can
sir.
plot any graph. Yeah.
So can we put this X level, Y level in title outside of this for loop?
Yes, you can put it. Let's put that.
It will
No
give you
problem.
this.
You can put it here. Let's now run till it's running. Okay. No problem with that. Because you don't want to repeat this X label again and again. You can put outside. It should not be repeated, right? Now, if I want to put legend again, I will go here and I can put the legend, right? Legend will come. Okay, you can keep and data whatever you want and remove all others. Okay, so data 1 you can give n equals to 1, data 2 you can give n equals to 2. Similarly, you can do the decoration of this graph very easily. Okay, so any questions still here? Means I'm almost over. I'm done actually. Any questions you have?
भैया,
Yes.
तो अगर वेक्टर फील्ड को डिफाइन करना है तो वो कैसे हो पाएगा?
Means you want to define a vector in here.
इक्वेशन में मतलब वेक्टर फॉर्म में उसको मतलब ग्राफ में
Give
प्लॉट
an
कर
give an example. Actually, give some example.
इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड ऑफ अ डाइपोल.
Okay, electric field of a dipole or things like that. Let me show you one thing. I this class was actually to give you a basic idea that how you can actually read the book which I have sent you. So let's open this book. It's a very good book actually by Matlab by Rudra Pratap sir. Let's download this and see this. I want you to introduce because there are so many concepts which you can see. You all can see the book, right? This book. All can see the book, right?
Yes, sir.
So if you go
यस.
here, there is a chapter, chapter number 6, graphics, right? So if I go to this chapter 183, okay, let me come to this. So these are the commands which I was talking about. You can see Y is for yellow color, C is for cyan color. All these commands you will see here very easily, right? Now the kind of plots which he has asked is like something like this. Let me show you. You want to plot something like this, right? This vectors coming in quiver plot, right? Quiver plot it's called, right? If I'm wrong, not wrong, what you wanted to know was how to write these vectors, right? How to define these fields. So there are so many applications which you can use for. So you can get a very simple, instead of plot, you use this means command, which is this mesh grid, and just a simple commands are there which you can copy paste, understand how they works, and just put in your values and you will get that graph. So the purpose of this class was to give you an idea how you can actually get started with MATLAB. It's a very simple of the MATLAB. You can do so many things in MATLAB. In our laboratory, I do so many things with MATLAB that you can't even means sooner or later you will also be doing if you will be doing research. So this is how you can get started. So this book is very good for any command you want. You use this book, you will get the command here. Also a good explanation that how to understand that command. So now last step which I want to mention here is, let's say I have this very beautiful graph, but I want to save this graph, right? Want to save this graph. I want to save this as an image, right? So there is a point coming up. We can remove these points by saying clear all, delete all data types. So all the data types will be removed. So we can save here. click on the graph and save as PNG. So now you can give this name, some name of this image. Let's say wave functions. Okay, and you save this. Okay, now where is it saved? Where is it saved? It is saved in the current folder. If you click on this current folder, you will see your file. Somewhere here you will see wave functions. Yeah, it's here in the top. Okay, you can download this if you want. Download this and open this image in your computer. You can see the very beautiful image. Can you all see the image?
Yes, sir.
So this is how you actually go from the graph, one single graph, to many graphs in the same graph. And then in the end, you can also do the decoration of the graphs, and then you save the graph. So this is what I wanted to tell you all about. So now, if anyone have any questions, you can ask. I am stopping the video here.
Bhaiya, can you please send this